Hello guys, good afternoon. So for now I am removing the transfer case of this Jeep Cherokee. This is the this is the transfer case. So if you look at this transfer case, there are only 6 bolts attached in the engine. There are 3 bolts here. This is the upper portion, and this is the 2 bolts also in the upper portion on the passenger side, and another 1 bolt in the lower portion, and another 1 bolt in the lower portion also. See that one? So the top problem for this uh, cranker case, how you access these 3 bolts and how you remove this wire harness. See this one? It's very tough. So I look at in the installation manual. It's look like we need to bring down the transmission, but for me it's a big job to remove the transmission and install this transfer case at the when the transmission was going down. So I try a new way how to remove that one. So the three bolts is on the top. There is no axis when you go for in the bottom of the car, but here there is an axis, but a very minimal axis. So but it will, if you're Asian, your hand is little bit small. So what I'm doing is just remove this this 2 hoses for the coolant for the heater inside. So there's a 2 hoses coolant that block for that. It's very I can get that light. So you see that one, there's a 2 hoses. I remove it. So if you remove the 2 hoses, your hand can access on the bottom. So that, but it's a lot of patience, it's a lot of work, but just go your hand like that, and you can you can hold the 3 bolts. See, I hold the 3 bolts. So that's the only way that we can remove this one. As the other option in the manual is we need to bring down the transmission and remove that remove the transfer case, then return it back. And the other thing for this is the the wire harness for the module of transfer case. This is very tough, but it's a lot of patience to remove it. Now I already removed the 2 bolts, and this the remaining bolts is only the 1 bolt in the top. But if you remove that, so you need also to remove this axle, because this axle was connected on the other end of the transfer case, this axle. So you need to remove that axle. So the first thing that you can remove the axle, so you need to remove the ball joint on the control arm, this one. And I also removed the ball joints on the tie rod, so that we can fold the axle. And this is the now. So if I remove that 3 volts on the top, because there's no way to access that 3 volts. I know it's very tough, but I try my best to do not remove the transmission, because that's a lot of hard work. I have a lot of research, but I cannot find online how to remove this one. So I try to figure out. So for this one, I'm thinking to remove this holder first, so that I can move backward. If I can move backward this one, so I can bring it down. So but before that, I already removed the exhaust manifold on the driver side, this one. I removed that one, so that I can have an access underneath. and I remove the main profiter also. Yeah. Underneath, see that one? I remove the main profiter. So that's the only I think that's the only option to do this one, because the transfer case, the 3 bolts on the upper portion is very tough, but it's a lot of patience. If you what I'm doing is just, if I cannot remove, I just quit, then think another option. That's why I figure out. So I noticed that there is hose, the 2 hoses for the heater core inside. So I think I told myself, if I remove this 2 heater core, maybe I can access. But I tried to not to remove uh, the freon line, this one. Yeah, because if I remove this freon line, it's a way more easier, because I can access more accessible area. But I try to not remove it, so that I cannot uh, recover the freon. I never recharge it again. So I tried not to remove that one. But uh, for the for my patient and something like that, so it will works. It will remove the transfer case. I already removed the 2 bolts. Then the last bolts I'm removing now, and I think it will work. So if you can see underneath, so if you see this one, this is only 6 bolts that we remove. But the toughest thing is how to remove this 3 volt here. I know this one, but it's easier. But what I'm doing there is just remove this holder first. I think I can remove this holder first. Then after I removing this holder, I can move like that. Then bring it down, because you need to move like a little bit, just only an inch, right? So if we move like that, so we can bring down. If you can look at underneath, uh, if you can look at underneath, if you can look at underneath, see, this is the transfer case was damaged. It's cracking. It's have a crack, right? So if you look at here, if you remove this one, we can bring down the transfer case. Then it we can bring down, rather than to bring down the whole transmission. Rather than bring down the transmission, it's not work. But this car is they already bring this one to the dealership. They bring this one to the dealership. I think then the dealership told him that you need to replace the transmission. Now I know already why the dealership told him that you need to remove the transmission, because they're removing the transmission and put the transfer case. So, and because of that, they can charge you the labor for the transmission and the transfer case. That's why they are, I don't know why they are tightening this bolt. For me, it's no reason to remove this uh, uh, subframe bracket. No reason, because this is only the transfer case. If we remove this bolt and we remove the upper bolt, we just push this transfer case on the right side, then it will go down. So I don't know why they are removing this one. So but it's a lot of work, lot of research, lot of trial and error, but patient and understanding the situation, the minimal accessible. So I did it because I do a research lot. Then I try to subscribe some manual instruction, but the manual instruction told us that you need to bring down the transmission. I told myself, no, that's a lot of work. If I bring down the transmission, that's a lot of work. And there's also a research that you need to tighten the engine holder and the transmission holder, so that the transmission is going little bit down so that you have an axis. But I never do that because I did an axis because my hand is little bit small, so it will work. See, I removed the transaxle, and yeah, if you are removing the transfer, if you have a car that Jeep Cherokee, Grand Cherokee 2015, uh, and you need to remove the transfer case, no need to bring down the transmission, no need to remove the sub assembly bracket subframe over there, no need to remove. The only thing that the very top is this 3 bolt. Since my hand is very small, and then I remove the 2 hoses for the heater core, and that the very top portion that I encounter is how to remove this wire harness. It's very tough because you are using only one hand, but it's a limited axis, but it will works. Just a patient, and if you cannot do it now, stop, then think it again. That's the only thing I did. So I think these videos can help you for removing the transfer case, because this transfer case is only 6 volt, but in that situation in the area, so I decided to remove this holder purse, because I cannot move if this holder is in, because there's some subframe here, there's some like mahaffer pipe for the exhaust pipe. It cannot remove. So if we remove this one, then we can push a little bit, then we can bring down the transfer case. Hopefully this video can help for you, because for me, I did a lot of research. I tried to go for the manual instruction, and I'm not convinced for their instruction, so I try to find something. But it takes time, but it works. It takes time, but it works. If there's a way, there's a solution. If there's a problem, there's always a solution. So that's all. I don't know the dealership remove the subframe, because this car came from the dealership, and the owner said they denied he denied the recommendation of the dealership, because it's so much high, because they want to replace the transmission. So the only problem for this is the transfer case was cracking. Now I know why the transfer. Before, when I checked this one, I'm wondering why the transfer case there is a crack. I'm wondering, and I cannot explain why it's happened. But when I'm in underneath, and then I'm removing some parts, I noticed the pipe for the exhaust manifold. And you see this pipe. So this pipe is like this. It will stand like this, something like that. So I noticed the pipe. There is this is a hard hit. This is a hard hit. You cannot it will not form like this if there's no hard hit. And also, see this one. See there's something happening underneath. Maybe there's something, a rock or something like that it will hit underneath. That's why the transfer case was broken. I don't know, but if the owners maybe they go for the insurance for the SGI, because I think this is not a mechanical problem. See this one, there is maybe a stone or something hard that hit underneath. That's why the transfer case was broken, because the transfer case was broken in this area. So there is maybe a big stone. I don't know where they go. Maybe during the snow, there's hard snow in the middle, and the transfer case, there's no guard for the transfer case. So that's why it will happen. That's all. Thank you so much.